At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that caring for the community means caring about the climate. You might have heard that we announced a pretty bold 12-month, $2 million campaign to do 4 things. Increase climate literacy, turn up the volume on communities of color in the climate conversation, connect everyday people with the resources they need to survive and thrive, and highlight frontline climate justice crusaders of color throughout this year. KBLA Talk 1580 will be bringing you insightful interviews on all of our shows to help raise your climate IQ. Each quarter this year, we will also be hosting free climate events in various communities throughout the city with food, fun, and forward-thinking conversations. Thanks to partners like LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, the Sierra Club, the California Community Foundation, the California Endowment, AQMD, MWD, and more. You'll also be hearing more about a couple of national town halls broadcasting live from Los Angeles, to which you will be invited. And we'll be rolling out a robust social media campaign on all our platforms, as well as an outdoor media campaign, all designed to educate, enlighten, and empower you in our fight for climate justice.
We want cleaner air.
Caring about the community means caring about the climate. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that we really can change the world if we care enough. If we care enough. We care enough. We care enough. We care enough. We care enough.
You ready?
It's the queen of royal badness.
It's time for the Rob Report with Robin Ayers.
Highlighting people and things you should know about.
Robin's got you covered. Follow Robin at Robin Ayers. You're listening to the Rob Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
Robin's got a lot to talk about.
Ray, we out here. It's young boss. Knockout. All we wanna know first round and
Sexy, can I just pardon my manners? Girl, how you shake it, gotta play a life. It's a Kodak moment, let me go and get my camera. All I wanna know is sexy, can I hit it from the front?
You are inside the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580, where we bring you the latest in entertainment news, trending topics, and interviews. I'm your host, Robin Ayers, with you all Monday through Friday. Happy Wednesday to you. Woo, that's a banger right there, Andy. Shout out to Ray J, and happy birthday to the man who I have so much to thank. You know what? Here's an interesting piece of information that you all may or may not know. I have Ray J personally to thank for me even entering into the hosting space, the reporting space, the broadcast journalism space. I said before that I was going to tell this story at another time, and I probably will. We don't have time today. Y'all already complained we only have 1 hour. But I definitely want to send a very, very, very special shout out to Ray, who's still doing some amazing things. He's got a great network, actually, just getting ready to take off. They're doing some promotion behind it right now. But shout out to Ray. Okay, so, yeah, it's Wednesday. It's actually a really good day. There's some good news in the air. I can't really speak about it right now because I didn't get permission to speak about it. But really good day for me. I hope you all are having yourselves a wonderful day. It is cold in Los Angeles, California, but let me not complain because I know elsewhere y'all may be going through it. I know in Texas, you guys are down in the there's some single digits. There's some, really low double digits. Out in Alabama, oh my goodness, get that cozy fireplace going, or comforters or whatever you got to do. So let me not complain, but for us Californians, we like the warm weather. You know what I'm saying? So my extremities get cold, and I don't like that. But anyway, enough of that. It is still a beautiful day regardless, and I hope you all are having yourselves a wonderful Wednesday. Let's go ahead and get into a couple of updates. You all know this news was out at the beginning of the year. Jonathan Majors obviously was found guilty of a few charges. They were on the lesser scale, but he, because of the circumstances, which I believe are really unfortunate and it's faulty in my opinion, but because of what he was found guilty for, he is being dropped time and time and time again from different projects that we had been waiting for. There's some highly anticipated projects that were happening, that were in the making, and he's being dropped. One of those is a movie called Magazine Dreams, and it's been officially dropped by the distributor. Another one, and I spoke about this one before. He was going to portray Dennis Rodman. I mean, who better to portray Dennis Rodman than Jonathan Majors? They even look very, very similar. That was a very highly anticipated film, and that is no longer happening. It was it was a biopic called 48 Hours in Vegas, and I am so sad. I'm sure that will still happen. It's just not going to be with Jonathan Majors, but whomever it is that they get, they better do some justice, because I feel like that was going to be a really good one. And I'd be interested to see what that Dennis Rodman biopic looks like. But speaking of biopics, another one is coming to us, and I'm sure many, many of you will be excited about this one. This is Michael Jackson's biopic. It's a Michael. We've already seen many different movies and different takes on the lives of some of these greats like Whitney Houston and even Michael and the Jacksons and all that. But this one is pretty special because it's starring his nephew, Jafar Jackson, and that's set to release next year, April 2025, with an incredible director, Antoine Fuqua, who you all are familiar with a lot of his work, but that is going to be great. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. Today is also a really, really good day for 19-year-old Isabella, the daughter of Michael Strahan. I'm sure all of you saw recently, she did an interview revealing that she's been battling a brain tumor. And so recently she just completed her radiation, which is so great. She was able to ring the bell, and that's so special. She's a student at USC, and now she's able to go back and attend school and just live a regular life. So truly that is very special. And, our well wishes are being sent to Isabella. And another happy birthday, more happy birthdays to Uncle Steve Harvey. I've never met Steve Harvey, and I don't know if I will call him Uncle Steve to his face or not, but Steve Harvey, happy birthday to him. Some call him the best dressed in the business right now, his suits and things. But he's actually calmed down a little bit on the suits. He's got a stylist, a nice stylist, by the way, who'll be putting him together. So shout out to Uncle Steve. I can say that right now because he's not in my face. Andy.
Steve Harvey be trying to thirst trap sometimes.
He do be trying to thirst trap. By the way, with the really good looking woman, his wife Marjorie is beautiful. She be styling and profiling too. So the two of them be stepping together. But he do be trying to thirst trap sometimes. Anyway, another birthday to celebrate is Dwayne Wade, another fantastic guy who's doing some great things. But Dwayne Wade, this actually brings up the question of the day that I have for you guys. Cameron and Mace, the two of them, they have a podcast. They're always talking about something silly. They were shocked and maybe disappointed to see Dwayne Wade's nails painted. And they kind of went in on him. They were really not liking that. And Mace equated Dwayne Wade's nails to seeing Michael Jordan in lingerie. Does it bother you when you see men with their nails painted? It's a big, big trend right now. It's a big, big trend. So I want to know from you all, and I'll put this over in our YouTube poll. Does it bother you when you see men with their nails painted? So I'll find out from you, see what you guys think out there. But right now, Andy, let's go ahead and get into the Raw Report.
Now it's time for a breakdown.
Torrei Hart, that's my girl. I'm trying to get her back on the show. If you all know, she had joined me on the show last year, and on the Raw Report, and we talked about several things she's had going on at that time. She remains busy, and one of the things she just added to her plate is joining the Katt Williams, the guy who just set the internet ablaze. She's joining him on his Dark Matters comedy tour. Now, that might sound all right, but the reason this is catching all kinds of news and people are talking about it is because she was married to Kevin Hart. And you all know, if you watched that Katt Williams interview with Shannon Sharp, he went in on Kevin Hart a little bit, called him some names. We're going to get into a little bit of that and just try to break this thing down. Some people are calling it's all fair. Some people are saying, nah, that's foul. So I want to know from you too. We'll break it down with our wonderful contributor who we have on the line today. We'll break that down on the other side. We're also going to be talking about former wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys, Bryant. This one hit my soul the second I saw this clip. He's talking about breaking generational curses. I'm gonna let you guys hear that clip, and I'm sure it'll sit with you in a space wherever it sits. I want to talk about it. I want to talk about what we're doing. Do we see anybody actively trying to break generational curses? I know we talk about it a lot, and it's somewhat of a trending topic, like other things have been trending topics that we talk about that we want to do something about. But do people really actively do anything about it? We're going to break that down and get to some other trending things on the other side. You are listening to The Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580. Stay there.
Hey, I'm Damian Young. I'm chilling with Robin on The Raw Report.
You're inside the Raw Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
Did you know there's dust floating around your home?
Really?
Yeah. Dust starts on hard surfaces like shelves and ceiling fans. And when you walk by, dust starts to move, compromising the quality of the air you and your family breathe.
So, what do I do?
Get Swiffer Heavy Duty Duster. Swiffer Heavy Duty Duster is the fast and easy way to trap and lock dust.
Before it gets into the air.
Exactly. So you can just... Swiffer Heavy Duty Duster, proud partner of the American Lung Association.
Lowe's knows pros want savings now. That's why, as an MVP's Pro Rewards member, you get volume savings on orders of $1,500 or more at the Pro Desk. And there's more. We've lowered our prices on select top products like electrical wire and drywall, so you can get the job necessities for less. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. In-store only. Exclusions, restrictions, and more terms apply. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
It's game day at Jim's house, and the spread is impressive.
Mike's already done some damage with the hot wings, and now he's dropping back and going deep for another slice of pizza.
I sure hope he brought the Pepto.
Mike knows the Pepto-Bismol provides fast 5-symptom relief from unexpected stomach upsets. He's no rookie.
The way he's throwing back those nachos, he's the GOAT.
Be ready for game day with Pepto-Bismol.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment. LA's 99 neighborhood councils form the grassroots level of the Los Angeles city government. The system was created to connect LA's diverse communities to City Hall. While neighborhood council board members are volunteers, they are also public officials elected to office by the members of their community. Neighborhood councils advocate on issues like homelessness, housing, land use, emergency preparedness, public safety, parks, transportation, and sustainability. They also provide local expertise on the delivery of city services to their various communities. Neighborhood councils are open to participation by anyone who is a part of the fabric of daily life in said community. This includes those who live, work, or own property or a business. If you are interested in stepping up to join your local neighborhood council, visit www.empowerla.org. That's empowerla.org. It's time to think globally, but act locally. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Giving you your daily dose of entertainment and celebrity news.
You're inside the Raw Report.
With Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
You know, I absolutely love the Raw Squad. Shout out to all of you guys over in our YouTube chat. This is a very special community, by the way. If you are listening on the radio, listening on the app, and you have not joined us over in YouTube, it is a whole vibe. Shout out to all of you guys. There is a question right now over in our poll that says, does it bother you to see men with colored painted fingernails? Right now, 71% of you say yes and 29% say no. We'll keep that poll up for a little bit. I also want to know, maybe I'll start doing this. I want to check in with you every day. You see how I'm doing. You see how it comes across in my mood. But I want to know how you guys are doing. So on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being lousy, 5 being wonderful. How are you feeling today? I want to start seeing some numbers. I see Deborah Chacoa says 5. Penny Thompson says 5. Anouk Carswell says 5. This is great so far. So yeah, you guys let me know how you're feeling. I want to go ahead and get started with our contributor for the day, TK Trinidad. It's Wednesday, so you know she's joining us on the Raw Report. How are you today, TK?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I am fantastic. Good to be back and good to be in conversation with you again, TK. How has your New Year and your holidays, how has it all been for you?
I mean, it's great now that I'm speaking to you, so I can't complain.
The warmness that went through my soul. Thank you so much, TK. Really good to talk to you. Really good to have you on. Yeah, I want to jump right in on some of these conversations. Now, obviously, you know, I wasn't here at the Raw Report, but I saw, of course, when Katt Williams did this 2+ hour, conversation with Shannon Sharpe. And he talked about so many comedians and artists, and he just went in on a lot of different people. One of those people was Kevin Hart, and he said a few things that, a few things about Kevin Hart. Let's play the clip and let's let everybody, if you have not heard the interview, let's hear it from Katt Williams himself. This is what he said about Kevin Hart.
Cedric and Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish came through there and made all lies. Steve and Cedric never performed at the Comedy Store at all. Tiffany was only seen at the Laugh Factory. In 15 years in Hollywood, no one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show, there being a line for him ever getting a standing ovation at any comedy club. He already had his deals when he got here. Have we heard of a comedian that came to L.A. and in his first year in L.A. he had his own sitcom on network television and had his own movie called Soul Plane that he was leading? No, we've never heard of that before that person or since that person. What do you think a plant is? Maybe people don't understand the definitions of these words.
He is calling Kevin Hart an industry plant, basically somebody. Andy, how would you describe in layman's terms what an industry plant is?
Somebody who's been produced, contrived to push an agenda or agendas. So there's a lot of backing behind the plant. And a lot of the times the plant might not necessarily have talent per se, but is definitely somebody who's controlled and is pushing some sort of agenda or agendas.
He said that so perfectly, I couldn't even come behind you and add to it. Basically, that is what Katt Williams is saying that Kevin Hart is, an industry plant. Well said, Andy. Thank you for that. Okay, TK, now we know right after that all of that happened, Katt Williams called out all these comedians, including Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart's ex-wife, Torrei Hart, announced that she's going to be joining Katt Williams on his Dark Matters tour. And people had all kinds of things to say about it. They're like, how could you be, but you betrayed Kevin Hart. This is the father of your 2 children. People had all kinds of things to say about it. And before I jump in here, because Torrei Hart is a friend of mine, so I'm not trying to be biased here at all. I am one to really look at all sides of a situation. But before I weigh in, I want to hand the mic to you and give me your thoughts. Is she receiving some unfair backlash right now, or to your mind, do you see it as being, you know what, it's all fair game? They're all comedians.
Well, I mean, it's business, so that's always one thing. And then, let's also, regardless if you like Kevin Hart or Katt Williams, they're both juggernauts in the game. They both go on tour. They both carry other comedians with them, et cetera, et cetera. As far as I know, and maybe you can answer that part, has Kevin Hart ever took Torrei on tour with him?
That is the question. And to my knowledge, he has not, to my knowledge.
Okay. So if, I guess let us know in the chat. If he hasn't, and, from my recollection, she helped him while they were together, write jokes and stuff like that. And he hasn't put his ex-wife on, you still got to make money. Mm-hmm. So go, if your goal is to be, whatever, number one comedian or a traveling comedian or whatever, and somebody's offering you that opportunity and your ex-husband isn't, then like, what, is she supposed to stay home and say, nah, I don't think Kevin's gonna like this?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's just a lot of different factors that are being played right now, and we don't know what the conversation is like. We don't know if they have a talking conversation. Both kids are kind of getting up in age as far as teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people who have kids with other people, and the kids are at this point where they can talk for themselves, so they barely talk to whoever that parent is. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of things that we don't know that's happening on the other side of things. So Torrei knows what she's doing. Like she knew by doing that, based off of, because when that Katt Williams interview came out, everybody watched it.
Yeah,
it was the highest interviews. It was like 3. It's almost like he did his own special, and then the timing of it, because he's now going out to do a whole tour.
Facts.
So like she's not dumb.
She's
and
not
again,
dumb.
You can speak to that because you know her.
Yeah.
But I highly doubt where she's like, I'm going to go on tour and, I want everybody to like it. Nah, this is comedy. Like people, and also no shade to my folks. I love my Black people. But she knew that people are going to come for her.
Right.
Whether positive or not.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, good point.
I have no problem with it. Get your money.
Good. Yeah, and I say the same thing. Torrei knows this is very, very strategic on her part. As well as on Katt Williams. I'm not mad at this at all. I have been reading the comments, and a lot of people have made the statement. They're like, Katt Williams is only doing what Kevin Hart wouldn't do, which is take her on tour with him. And that's absolutely true. Now, I know Torrei is also an actress. She had done a few movies, and once there was a video that came out where she basically asked Kevin to sign off and put a stamp on her movie, and he shouted out her movie, and it was supposed to, I guess, be like an exciting thing that he shouted her out. But in my mind, I feel like maybe there's more he could have done for her, because there, in addition to her being a friend, I've also interviewed Torrei in a lengthy interview. This must have been 10 years ago or so. And I asked her about that history that she has with Kevin and how they met and, the careers and how they sort of took off. And she wrote a lot of that early material that Kevin started his career off with. So I don't think publicly she had ever gotten a lot of acknowledgement or accolades for that. Certainly not by him. He sort of took it and ran with it. Now, I'm not knocking Kevin. I enjoy his comedy. I like him as a person. So this is no knock on him. This is only saying what I believe should have been the case a long time ago. She should have been given her props. So the fact that she's joining Katt Williams right now, maybe it's the timing, maybe it's strategic, I don't know, but I'm not mad at it. And I will read this comment that she basically stated. I guess she had someone caught up with her, and they asked her if by putting Torrei on this tour, Katt Williams was basically trying to be a troll and troll, Kevin. And she says, why would he do that? Me and Katt are friends. We go back like 20 years. We've been friends for, she says, we've been friends for 20 years. We're so close to the point that Katt babysit my dog. She says he babysat her dog, her pit bull, at one point. She says, no, we go way back to where I'm telling you we have history. So she's basically saying that's not the case, but she also is playing into this. She did a video where she was like, okay, so y'all are saying I'm on tour with the ops. She's playing into it. She's a comedian. She's a comedian and she's an actress. She's an entertainer. I am not mad at Torrei for this. Question is, are you going to go, because Katt he's going to be everywhere. Are you going to be tuning into the tour? Are you going to go watch it?
My friend just told me the tickets are like $250. So yeah,
really trying to capitalize.
I love comedy. Pete Davidson just dropped one. Dave Chappelle just dropped one. I love watching my comedy at home. I do love a good comedy club, but these prices, because there's $250 for a ticket, then you pay for parking, then it's 2 people. You already out almost $1,000. So I like Katt, But also, if you watch Katt Williams' last special, if you really look close at it, it was actually two specials in one. So if you look at it, it was like they were talking about like one was really political and one wasn't. So I'm curious to see his material, and I think he's a dope comedian, but his last special was like okay. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm not balling at that. Now if I come up on some free tickets.
Then we might be able to talk about it. I hear you. And I'm not mad at that. And I actually agree with you. I tried to pull up some of his early material. His early material was hysterical to the point where I'd be in tears. I don't feel that way about his latest material and his specials on Netflix. I'll leave it there. But it's not to say I'm not still a fan of Katt Williams. I really am. Andy?
These cats are having too many specials back to back to back. They need give us maybe 3 years and come up with another special. I understand the contract with the Netflix and stuff like that, where they feel like they got to go ahead and pump them out. Mm-hmm. And I think maybe that's one of the reasons why the laughter ability ain't really there like that.
Okay. And TK?
Well, Katt Williams, there was a time like he had, I think, at least a good 3 to 5 year run before his last one. So that last special he had, there was a space. I get where you're saying with Dave Chappelle. He did some back-to-back ones. Mm-hmm. But again, it's really just everybody's different. And then you have the Netflix. Netflix is a joke. That's the whole thing that's coming to LA, I think, in May or something like that. So I agree with you. However, I feel like comedy is almost like music, meaning that when comedians are going through a period of time, whether it's, if you even reference Kevin Hart when he was funny, he was talking about he talked about Torrei. He talked about, the divorce. He talked about even when he cheated on his current wife. Mm-hmm. Usually in their dark time, that's when
you come out with some really funny stuff. Now that part is that part is true. That part
when
is
they're
very
living
true.
that good life, it's not. Although Dave Chappelle, it's a different type of comedy where he's telling stories.
Yeah.
So it really just depends on the comedian.
I got to say, I will go and support Katt. I will support Torrei. As a matter of fact, I think she's funny as well. So we'll see, because they're coming to Cali in May. I'm going to go see if I can get some tickets first. See if I can get some tickets for the Raw Squad. Anyway, right now we're going to go. We got some news, traffic, and sports. You're listening to the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
What's going on? What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Denzel Whitaker, and I'm on the Raw Report.
More of the Raw Report with Robin Ayers when we come forward.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. A Manhattan judge is refusing to drop charges against Daniel Penny in connection to last year's New York City subway chokehold death. The 25-year-old Marine veteran was caught on camera placing a homeless black man, Jordan Neely, in a fatal chokehold on a subway train. Penny's legal team argues he was defending himself from Neely, who was allegedly acting erratically and threatening passengers. Penny is due back in court March 20th. New York City Mayor Eric Adams is unveiling his fiscal year 2025 budget proposal. While releasing the $109 billion preliminary plan, Adams touted how his administration was able to balance the budget without layoffs, tax hikes, or major disruptions to city services, despite obstacles like the growing migrant crisis. He says this was possible due to higher than expected tax revenues, a citywide hiring freeze, plans to support migrants more efficiently, and additional state funding. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Taking a look at your drive with some delays starting in West LA. Watch for an accident currently on the right shoulder of the 10 East before the 405, causing stop delays coming from Bundy Drive up to 10 to 15 minutes. Back downtown on the 10 East now before Alameda Street, watch for an accident on the right shoulder, and heavy traffic flow is over 45 minutes from the 405. Also continue to be advised that the Lakers are facing the Mavericks, which started at 5:30, so there could be some added delays near the Crypto.com arena.
The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Clippers are on the road, but they have a key injury concern. Starting center Ivica Zubac will be out 4 weeks with a strained right calf muscle. Mason Plumlee and Daniel Tice will fill in for Zubac. The Clippers are off until Sunday when they host Brooklyn. For some reason, Florida A&M is having trouble hiring a head football coach to replace Willie Simmons. Simmons left at HBCU to become an assistant coach at Duke. Florida A&M has brought in a search firm concern to help the school find a replacement for Simmons. Florida A&M AD Tiffany Dawn Sykes recommended Sean Gibbs of Fort Valley State, but Gibbs was rejected by alumni and the fan base. Top 5 women's college basketball teams in this week's AP poll: South Carolina, Iowa, Colorado, North Carolina State, and UCLA. USC is right behind at number 6. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we do Black history every single day. In fact, as the only Black talk radio station west of the Mississippi, we are Black history. Our annual Black History Month luncheon is fast approaching, and we want to be sure to give you ample time to get your company, organization, church, or group to join us at this year's celebration on the last day of the month, Thursday, February 29th at noon. Last year, we honored iconic local Black media personalities, including Pat Harvey, Jim Hill, Mark Brown, Beverly White, Sandy Banks, and Pat Prescott, and raised $20,000 in scholarships. This year, we're honoring Black Hollywood creatives who have used their artistic genius as climate justice champions. At this year's luncheon, we will be showcasing and sharing their inspiring work on our big screen. Plus, a scrumptious meal, live music, great company, and lots of fun with your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts. So contact us today at info@smileyAudiomedia.com or call 323-290-4690. That's info@smileyAudiomedia.com or call 323-290-4690. We hope to see you Thursday, February 29th as we close out Black History Month. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your Black.
City of Los Angeles landlords that own rent-controlled properties, starting February 1st, you'll be able to increase rents by 4% for your rent-controlled properties. An extra 1% per utility, up to 6%, can be added only if you pay the entire gas and electric bill. And don't forget to give your tenant an advance 30-day written notice for rent increases of less than 10%. It is state law. Learn more about the rent increase at housing.lacity.org. That's housing.lacity.org.
Cover California is a free service from the state that's already helped millions of people like you get and pay for health insurance. With financial help to lower the cost of health coverage, you could get a quality health plan for less than $10 a month. Every plan covers preventive care, doctor visits, emergency care, and more. If you have questions, we're here to help every step of the way. Cover California, this way to health insurance. Enroll by January 31st at coveredca.com.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
What's up? I'm tired of feeling so bloated. That used to be me. Then I got this. Align Bloating Relief plus food digestion. A probiotic, right? Yeah, it works naturally with your gut to help soothe occasional bloating and gas. Plus, it has vitamin B12 to aid digestion by helping convert food to cellular energy. 2 benefits, 1 capsule.
Align Bloating Relief plus food digestion from the #1 doctor-recommended probiotic brand. Learn more at alignprobiotics.com.
My dad has a cold, but also has high blood pressure. That's why I got him Vicks DayQuil High Blood Pressure for max strength daytime relief. Unlike some ordinary cold medicines, it's specially formulated for people like my dad. DayQuil High Blood Pressure is sugar-free, alcohol-free, and decongestant-free.
Vicks DayQuil High Blood Pressure. The daytime, non-drowsy, coughing, aching, fever, sore throat, cold, and flu for people with high blood pressure.
Like my dad.
Medicine. Use as directed.
Keeping you informed about what's really going on.
Who's got next?
And what not to miss in entertainment. You're listening to The Rob Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
Back when I was a child.
You are inside the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580. I appreciate you all joining us right now. And if you are joining us for the first time tonight, come on up in here. We're having a really good conversation. We just finished talking about Torrei Hart, who is joining Katt Williams on his Dark Matters tour. This is following his maybe controversial comments about her ex-husband, Kevin Hart. And I think we've all agreed that, we're not mad at Torrei for joining this tour. We're not mad at taking this opportunity, strategic as it may be. It's still a really good idea, I think, for her, and I will go support. We're on the line with TK Trinidad, our entertainment contributor for the day. And I want to go ahead and jump to a conversation about Bryant. But before we do, I never asked you, TK, does it bother you when you see men with colored, painted fingernails?
So there's different categories. If I'm dating you, then no, we can't be going to the nail salon and both getting our nails done. That doesn't work for me. But if we're friends, do you.
All day.
Like, I really live by the principle of if it doesn't affect my money or my family, the rest is not my concern. So once I kind of put in those two things, do you. You want to go and get your nails done? We're homies. You want to go and go to the same spot I go to, or you want a suggestion? I'll give you the suggestion. That's all on you. But as my man, yeah, nah.
Not so much.
We're not going there.
Okay, Andy?
As your man, can I get a manicure with you, though?
Ooh, good question.
Yeah, well, are you getting a manicure every week? Like the same? Are you on my same manicure schedule?
Maybe like once a month.
Well, then if that's the case, then I'll do the manicure.
Then you will do his manicure, you're saying?
Yeah, I'm very proficient on doing manicures and pedicures.
Oh, okay, all right. I didn't know where that was going, so I'm like, okay, all right. Well, right now, a few of you have answered, and you said 64% of you say you are bothered. You don't like it. You are with TK. No, I'm just playing TK. She didn't say that. She just said she don't want her man with painted nails. Andy, are you painting your nails or not?
I once did as a kid, just being a goofball.
Okay.
As a Laker fan, I just wanted purple and gold everything.
Okay.
I painted my nails or whatnot.
Yeah.
But
as a grown man.
As a grown man, no.
Not so much.
But I'm also curious to know, what about those individuals who are goth? You know what I mean?
Sure.
It doesn't matter whether you're black, white, or whatever. But I think that might be a little bit passable, so to speak. If it's just black nails, is that more acceptable?
TK, I'll ask you: is that acceptable for a goth, type of vibe?
I mean, I don't envision myself dating a goth person. I'm sure they're great. I've never dated somebody. I've never dated a goth person. It's a case by case. But again, for me, if we are both going to the hair salon to get our hair done, he's getting a piece, and then then we followed up going to get our nails done. Even if it is black, it's just not. That's not. It's everybody has their preference, and that's just not mine.
Two things. I'm curious to know what the gender makeup is of the individuals who voted on the poll. I'm just curious to know about that. And Dwayne Wade ain't the only popular individual man who's painting their nails. I think it's a trend going on.
It's
right
a huge trend right now.
It is a huge trend.
Absolutely. So I don't know. Mimi in our YouTube, though, she got me rolling. She said, basically, if you're a man, if you wear polish, we gonna be friends. That's where she's crossing the line. Well, a lot of men also like to get their nails painted clear, and I don't see a problem with that. I do think it's just not what we're used to when you see a man with painted nails, but I do understand that it's a trend. A lot of these young guys are, you're growing up watching some of the artists that you like, and former athletes painting their nails. You want to jump on trend. So but whatever works for you. All right. So thank you guys who voted over here. I know where you stand. Let's go ahead and move on to talk about Bryant, who he had a very powerful clip, and the second that I saw it, he got emotional discussing breaking generational curses. And the moment that I saw it, it really touched my soul. And I wonder if you guys will feel the same after you listen to it. Andy, let's make sure it's turned up and they can hear it well, because I want you to hear the passion in which he's saying it. Let's take a listen.
Let me read something. It's been on my phone for about, since I met y'all, it's probably like 6 years. Just say, break generational curses. Quit yelling at your kids before they go to bed and expect them to sleep well. Quit yelling at your kids in the morning right after they wake up before school and expect them to have a good day. You set the tone for your children. You set the tone for you set the tone for your voice. They will always remember in their heads. You become their inner voice. Don't be their inner critic. Speak life, speak love, speak bravery, kindness and hope. Speak wisdom and truth. Most of all, listen to your children. I never had none of that. I get that to mine. And that's my number one priority. I follow that. That's how I break it. And, so when I do it, I live it. I live it.
It just, every time I hear it, it hits a place in my soul. TK, first of all, does that hit you the way that it hits me? I think that it's, I felt sad and I felt proud at the same time listening to him. Des Bryant is a 35-year-old man. He is successful. He is a former wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys. He is saying, that he didn't grow up with that. And I think it's commendable because oftentimes when we go through things, we repeat it. It becomes cyclical. That is, in fact, what these generational curses are. I know we go spiritual with it, but essentially what it is, what we're doing is practicing the same thing that was that you sort of inherited this pattern, and you do it with your own children. And he's saying he recognizes it, but he's trying to make a difference in his own children. Give me your thoughts on it.
I mean, when I heard it, and I've known, I've been very blessed and lucky as far as the way I was raised, who I was raised by, where I was raised, etc. Because my mom, she was that woman who spoke life into me, who constantly told me I was beautiful, who constantly told me I was smart, and even to the point where the memory I have of her, looking at herself in the mirror and telling herself she's beautiful, and as a child seeing that, that really impacted me. So, there was a thing that said in the caption too, as well as your parents you hear their voices. They're almost like your inner voices as you grow up. And, I didn't come up in a household that, there's a lot of yelling. Any beating that I got when I was a kid, it was very well deserved. I could pinpoint I shouldn't have done that. It was never a beating just because my mom was frustrated. So I was very lucky in growing up in a household like that, to the point that even though my self-talk is very, it might go, everybody gets down on themselves on occasions, but it doesn't go to the point where I ever feel I'm not worth it, if that makes sense. So I get where he's coming from, but it also really made me really appreciate and acknowledge how lucky I was in my upbringing. But also, just to piggyback off of that, every generation, there's going to be something new. So, I just said that I referenced that I got beatings as a kid. That's not really that's frowned upon right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's I also say with all of that you as a child, and I'm sure you can speak more to this as a mother, kids don't come with manuals. So you're doing the best you can with what you got. So, it's up to the kids to take whatever they have and then, be better than their parents.
Yeah.
But not to crucify your parents if they actually just did the best that they could.
Absolutely.
So, because I'm seeing that often too, where, kids are going back oh, my mom didn't do this. And it's they were human too. They were kids too. And, barring, crazy stuff, they did the best that they could. And you take that and you either, take from that and apply to it, or just take that and just don't do what they did.
I agree with you. And I'm glad that you mentioned that. I think that is so important that we extend grace to our parents and our grandparents and whomever had a hand in raising us. We have to extend grace because you're right. There is no manual, but also we're all doing the best that we can with what we have. And nobody, unless you are largely emotionally traumatized some way, nobody is intentionally harming or enforcing some type of pain on their children. People want to do right by their children, but oftentimes I think this, when it comes to raising kids and all of that, if you haven't self-reflected in taking a look at the bigger picture in how you want to raise your kids, how you want to have a beautiful family, or what type of family you want to have, what environment do you want to bring them up in. If you haven't looked at those things and really dissected it, you are going to be waking up every single day letting the wind blow you. You're going to wake up, you're just going to go with the flow. And most likely when you go with the flow, things happen. You say things, you do things to harm your kids, that'll stick with your kids forever just because you're rolling with the flow. However, if you set your intention on how you want to raise your kid, be intentional about it, oftentimes you can make different decisions as opposed to going with the flow and then repeating a pattern of what you're used to. And I think that's sort of where we get caught up in. And I'm no expert by any means, but I will say that a large part of how I chose to the outlook that I had when it came to raising my own children with my husband, Robbie, is being intentional, being thoughtful about ways that I was raised, things that happened to me, things that I saw, and wanting to have a different outlook. So yes, it is about praying. It's about, keeping God involved, and it is about, praying the things off. But when we talk about generational curses, again, I think that curse, people believe that I'm going to pray about it and leave it up to God to break this thing. And that's not always the case. You actively have to get involved with how you raise your kid, with breaking the curse. You actively have to do that. So the very fact that Des Bryant, he's calling out all these different things. I heard him say a couple of things. He said, quit yelling at your kids, expecting them to sleep well. Oh my gosh. Think about that. That's something that you actually have to be intentional about. If you have a tendency to yell at your children or just be loudmouth and just have drama, you got to actually be intentional about, okay, Robin, hold your mouth, hold your tongue. Don't yell at your kids. You want your kids to sleep well. You get what I mean? He says, don't be their inner critic. My God, listen to your children. These types of things is something, it sounds to me, because he was reading from his phone, sounds to me that he's gotten some notes on exactly how he wants to be intentional about raising his kids. One question before I let you go, because we're, running low on time, because we could go on and on about this. I'm passionate about this topic. This is one of those things, I know, trending. It's a trending topic, women empowerment. We have self-care. Generational curses tend to be one of those things. But do you see people doing exactly what we're talking about? Do you see amongst, this day and age, people actively trying to break the curses rather than just saying they want to break the generational curses?
I believe so. But it's kind of almost like, everybody now, a lot of people now are taking therapy, but it's going over and above, in my personal opinion, where it's like, okay, well, now you're taking therapy, now you think you're the therapist for everybody. Every child is different, and some children need more attention than others. And, it's like you want to break the generational curse, but if this child needs a little bit more rearing than your younger or your oldest, then you have to do that according to your child and not what society's saying. Again, I'm not advocating beating. I'm not a parent and all this sort of stuff. But my brother and I grew up very differently in the same household, and we both are doing well. But how we were raised was two totally different, and my mom saw that. So I think, taking what society and the cues and reading and becoming a better parent and taking what your parents did and your friends and all this other stuff, taking that to account, but then also really realizing the individual that you're dealing with. Yeah. Because some kids might not need it.
I agree with you.
They're good.
I agree. I definitely agree. Well, this is one of those topics that we could go on and on about, and I probably bring this up at another point because this is such a good one. So good that Zoe Williams, I think he want to come in and sit in on the show. I think he wants to give his own input. TK Trinidad, it is always great being in conversation with you. Thank you so much for joining the Raw Report, and you can follow TK on all things, as she would say, at TK Trinidad. Thank you so much for joining us, and enjoy your night.
All right, thanks. Have a good one.
Okay, you as well. When we come forward, I think we've got a Who's Got Next, and we might get to some of these comments as well. On the other side, you're listening to the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, what's up? It's your girl BB, and you're listening to me on the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
You're inside the Raw Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 is the exclusive media sponsor of this light of ours, activist photographers of the Civil Rights Movement. A dynamic new exhibition on view now at the Skirball Cultural Center in Los Angeles. This light of ours showcases more than 150 photos taken by movement insiders from diverse backgrounds that reveal the vital work undertaken by a broad coalition of organizers and everyday people whose collective action changed America. This light of ours is one of 3 temporary exhibitions currently on view at the Skirball, which together explore issues related to civil rights, immigration, and pluralism. Tickets and more information for all 3 exhibitions are available at skirball.org. That's skirball.org. SKIRBALL.org.
Did you know that feeling sluggish or weighed down could be a sign that your digestive system isn't working at its best? Taking Metamucil every day can help. Metamucil fiber powders help promote your daily digestive health using a plant-based fiber called psyllium. The gelling action of this special fiber traps and removes waste so you can feel lighter and more energetic. Metamucil, promoting digestive health for a better you. Learn more at metamucil.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed? Because no 2 people sleep the same. Only the Sleep Number smart bed lets you each choose your individual firmness and comfort, your Sleep Number setting. The Climate 360 smart bed is so smart it actively cools or warms up to 13 degrees on either side for your ideal sleep temperature. The Queen Sleep Number C2 smart bed is now only $9.90. Plus free home delivery when you add any base. Ends Monday. Prices higher in Alaska and Hawaii. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com. Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed? Because no 2 people sleep the same. Only the Sleep Number smart bed lets you each choose your individual firmness and comfort, your Sleep Number setting. The Climate 360 smart bed is so smart it actively cools or warms up to 13 degrees on either side for your ideal sleep temperature. The Queen Sleep Number C2 smart bed is now only $9.90. Plus free home delivery when you add any base. Ends Monday. Prices higher in Alaska and Hawaii. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
You're all set with your Medicare prescriptions, Mrs. Brown.
This is not just low-cost copays at Walgreens.
I can actually help you set up 90-day refills if you want.
This is having a partner you can trust. Get low-cost copays, 90-day refills, and delivery from your neighborhood Walgreens. This is being independent. Together. Walgreens.
Restrictions apply. For details, see walgreens.com/pharmacy.
Giving you your daily dose of entertainment and celebrity news.
You're inside the Raw
Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
You know what, Raw Squad? I don't think we're done with this topic. I think we have to continue this conversation tomorrow. It was just too short of a time to really talk about it because there's so much to it. There's just so much to it. Maybe we'll have a special guest with us on tomorrow, something to break it down even further. We'll see. I hear you, and I definitely want to shout out to Forrest Harrison, who says, I broke the curse in my family. My kids have no clue about street life, and they're college students. That's a blessing. Definitely a blessing. So to all of you who've actually done the work in breaking generational curses, God bless you. Continue to do that so that your kids and their kids will continue to live a great life and do well. But yeah, we'll continue this conversation. Right now, we only have a little bit left, but I want to get to a Who's Got Next and give you some dope music to add to your playlist. This is Libyanka called People.
From Bamandait, Libyanka. I've been drinking more alcohol for the past 5 days. Did you check on me? Now did you look for me? I walked in the room, eyes are red, and I don't smoke banga. Did you check on me? Did you check on me? Now did you notice me? No I put a smile on my face. A facade you can never face. And if you don't know me well, you won't see how buried I am inside my grave. Inside my grave. 'Cause you see people don't really know you. They don't really know you. 'Cause you see people, they don't really know you. They don't really know. I've been drinking more alcohol for the past 5 days. Did you check on me? Or did you look for me? I walked in the room.
Wow. Libyanka. That is called People. And I tell you, Libyanka is doing some great things. She's on everybody's map. Everybody's pinpointing her like, okay, you got next. That is a beautiful, beautiful song called People. What I don't want you to miss, the Vince Staples Show. It's coming to Netflix February 15th. So you got a little bit of time to prepare. Look for it. Maybe put it on your playlist. This is going to be cool. It's actually got a few people in it. One of them is Kareem Grimes, and I'm trying to get him here on the show. We're talking about when we can work it out scheduling-wise, but he's starring in that show as well. You've seen him in a lot of other things, too. Another fire show, y'all. Come on. That's another fire show. Make sure you are liking the video. Yeah, thank you for that, Andy. Thank you to TK Trinidad for joining us on the Raw Report today. You know what time it is, though. You already know what time it is. That's Zoe Williams, the voice of reason, who is coming up right after me. So you cannot change the station because he is bringing the heat as he always does. You guys, I appreciate you and all of your engagement. We're right back at it tomorrow, though. Right back at it tomorrow with more conversations and probably talking about this generational curse breaking again. You guys, I am your host, Robin Ayers, and as always, remember today and every day forward to be a blessing.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. The first Black police chief in Hampton, Connecticut history has been sworn into office. Edward Page Reynolds became chief during a recent ceremony. The Hampton High School graduate was a detective and hostage negotiator during a long career in the New Haven Police Department. He then held police chief jobs in Maine, Arkansas, and Louisiana before